And now, live from San Jose, All Elite Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, and Stardom present Forbidden Door.
It's Sunday! You know what that means! AEW's Forbidden Door is coming to you live from the SAP Center in San Jose, California, the Golden State. I'm Excalibur, joined by Nigel McGuinness, Walker Stewart of New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom, and we have a massive event with international implications for you here tonight.
Well, it's the Forbidden Door, and the Young Bucks are ready to kick it down with a super kick party.
Your Forbidden Door opening contest is a three-way tag team match set for one fall. It is the first from Rancho California, and it's a byweight of 417 pounds. Next, and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks.
Heavyweight title match, 一本勝負をくれます。マット・ジャクソン、ニック・ジャクソン、ヤング・バックス。
And those were the voices of Arcadiora, the Japanese language announcer Takaro Shibata. Walker, AEW fans, of course, extremely familiar with the three-time former AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. But Japanese fans also very familiar with Matt and Nick Jackson.
Multiple-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, former IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson have been there and done it all and are looking to beat the best of CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling tonight in our opening contest.
The IWGP stands for the International Wrestling Grand Prix. That's the governing body of all of the titles in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's a little fact for the first-time New Japan viewers.
Yeah, I like it. Just keep those up.
Next, Shingo Takagi and Titan Unbound Company.
Takagi Shingo, Titan, Unbound Company.
Unbound Company, a relatively new unit in New Japan Pro Wrestling, made up of the remnants of Los Ingobernables de Japón and Bullet Club. Those two teams disbanded earlier this year, but the remaining members came together to form Unbound Company, Walker.
From the ashes of the War Dogs and LIJ come Unbound Company, led up by a man who is not in attendance here tonight, current IWGP Heavyweight Champion Yota Tsuji. Shingo Takagi and Titan, two of the best in the game today, and they fight it out inside this ring.
And Nigel, we saw another member of Unbound Company on the Forbidden Door and Drilla Maloney picked up an impressive victory over Daniel Garcia just moments ago.
Yeah, somewhat of an upset some might consider, but certainly Unbound Company are going into this match with a little bit of added momentum. The Young Bucks have got to be prepared for it, as will this team. Oh, listen to that reaction. Walker, don't say a word. Stop dancing.
Next, they are the CMLL World Trios and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, the Star Dorada and Místico El Sky Team.
Místico, Máscara Dorada, Sky Team.
Well, Místico has certainly had an eventful 7 days. We'll touch more on that in a moment, but let's take you back to this past Friday night at Arena Mexico. It was Sky Team, Místico and Máscara Dorada unseating the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos. There you see La Mística cinched in. Moros tapped out, and new champions, Nigel, were crowned in Mexico City.
All gold for El Sky Team, and speaking of momentum, as I just did, for Unbound Company, two-thirds of the current CMLL Trios champions, El Sky Team, are buoyant as they head here into San Jose. They are on their feet.
And then we see the Spanish announce team special guest at the Spanish announce desk, Julio Cesar Rivera from the CMLL announce team, I'm sure with a great interest in the proceedings here tonight. And Walker, not only are you the Sorry, I just had to take a moment to soak that one in. But Walker, not only are you the English language voice of New Japan Pro Wrestling Stardom, but you're also very familiar with the athletes of CMLL as well.
Yeah, I've called a couple of matches for CMLL in my day. Mystico, one of the top stars, the ace, if you will, of Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre. And in fact, you have to imagine Mystico had a difficult time figuring out, hey, which of my many titles do I bring down the ringside? He is also the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion in New Japan.
Alongside El Desperado, and talked about the 7 days for Mystico. He has wrestled every single one of those 7 days in the United States or in his native Mexico. Last night, teaming with Speedball Mike Bailey. Tag team win on Collision. Friday night, as we mentioned, the victory over the Ring of Honor. Then Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Nigel.
No wonder his theme music translated is "I'm dying."
And earlier this week, Mystico and Dorada picked up a win over Sonata and Dick Togo of New Japan Pro Wrestling. That one taking place in Mexico. Titan brings down Mystico and immediately putting up boots.
Well, you heard a round of cheers going up for the handshake, but Titan turned things around quickly.
These men are certainly familiar with one another in CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Mystico and Titan looking to go toe-to-toe here in our opener.
And Walker almost a dual role for Titan here tonight, representing both New Japan Pro Wrestling and CMLL in this one.
Yeah, but when it comes to Unbound Company, it is New Japan Pro Wrestling first and foremost. We'll save the CMLL spectacle for Reno, Mexico next time around.
Gamagiri connects by Mystico. Now trying to maneuver around the ring post, springboard. Diving hook on Dorada by Mystico.
This makes it look so effortless, doesn't it?
Certainly does, and he's been doing it for the better part of 2 decades as well. As Mystico and Titan finding himself in the corner of the Young Bucks.
Tag was made into Mascara Dorada in with Nick Jackson. And get ready to start your stopwatches because the pace is picking up.
In my recollection, this is the first time the Young Bucks have crossed paths with Sky Team. The trip made by Mascara Dorada. Nick Jackson went for a trip of his own. Dorada avoids. Nick Jackson floats over the top. Dorada, impressive display of athleticism. Nick Jackson to the outside. Dorada, springboard in. Nick avoids. Super kick avoided by Dorada. Roundhouse avoided. Drop kicks. Both men vault through.
If you had to put a prediction for a future ace of CMLL, you'd certainly have to list Mascara Dorada high up there, but there is no team in the world like the Young Bucks, gentlemen.
An integral part of the founding and success of AEW.
Collar elbow tie-up. Seemingly pedestrian after that exchange, Nigel.
No question about that. Any match that the Young Bucks are in, potential show stealer.
Wow. There's the teamwork of the brothers Matt and Nick Jackson. Pair of boots into the midsection. Oh man, both Matt and Nick very familiar with Shingo Takagi, not only from their time in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but Dragon Gate early on in their careers as well. As Dorada hoisted up with a powerbomb. Nick Jackson. Zigiri on the way in. And catapult into the Gamagiri. Jackson on the ascent, the foot stomps. The Young Bucks going to work.
Well, the Young Bucks hitting their best hits, but will it be enough to score a victory here tonight? The Bucks have made no secret of their tag title aspirations. They'll be watching later on as the Dogs challenge the AEW World Tag Team Champions Cope and Cage.
Big Enzigiri from Mascara Dorada. Dorada on the move, and inventive offense from the man in the golden mask.
There's nobody like him. Here we go, gentlemen. Tag made in the corner for Unbound Company's own and Shingo Takagi. And Takagi's not going to have a lot of three-way tag team experience. You don't see a lot of multi-man matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so these are deeper waters for Takagi than usual.
But Shingo, very familiar, at least earlier in his career, with mixing it up with luchadors.
No doubt.
Using it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, one of the most explosive wrestlers. We'll take you back to Forbidden Door a couple years ago against Bryan Danielson in the Owen Hart Tournament Foundation. Foundation tournament. This is an absolutely phenomenal athlete in Takagi.
But Mascara Dorada trying to exploit the speed advantage, but Shingo running right through him.
Fearsome, battle-tested, hard-hitting. I think Takagi, Shingo is the difference maker, in my opinion, in this match.
Yeah, he's the only unlike thing in a match full of like things.
One of these things doesn't belong with the others.
Now Teton and Shingo teeing off on Mascara Dorada. Double hammer throw into the ropes, tripped by Teton and Shingo. Vertical suplex, followed up by the splash from Teton. Cover made, shoot.
Love the poise of Shingo, the way he's controlled the tempo of this match. He's slowed every one of his opponents.
Oh, Dorada, nice slip underneath. Unbound Company, meeting of the mind. Shingo swinging a miss, tag made. Now Mystico on the move. Okanrana brings down Takagi, overhand chop. Stunning, series of overhand chops, stunning Teton. As Mystico, as you said, Walker, makes it look effortless.
Just otherworldly athleticism, but you got to watch out for the men who stand behind you.
As Matt and Nick Jackson. Nigel, hard to believe that with the careers that the Young Bucks and Mystico have had, this is the first time, that's the first interactions they've ever had inside the ring.
Yeah, certainly unexpected, but right now, not concerned about Mystico, more concerned with his tag team partner.
Escalera and...
Oh! Some big risks here the Young Bucks are taking. Mystico almost caught them off guard early.
Teton ducks underneath this pair of super kicks from Matt and Nick Jackson. Now Shingo collecting the Young Bucks on the outside.
What's happening here?
Teton has an affinity for the death-defying, the high risk, but I think Mascara Dorada is going to put a stop to that for now.
Dorada with a very similar affinity, but Mystico comes in.
Toe of the boot to the nose, and again, Teton do well to avoid that. Watch this.
No. Oh my gosh! That is a risky business for all involved here tonight.
And Dorada somehow, some way, the first man to his feet.
He's just exalted that he's still alive, I would be.
And Mystico, very recently returning from an injury, Walker. He's not exactly been playing it safe, as we mentioned. 7 straight days. This is the 8th day of wrestling for Mystico.
Yep, no doubt about it. Mystico looking to represent New Japan, CMLL, everything in between, even here in AEW, the human forbidden door. Looking for a victory here tonight.
Mystico, of course, a former AEW World Trios champion, alongside Speedball Mike Bailey and the turncoat, the Jet Kevin Knight, who's now the TNT champion. He'll be part of that steel cage main event, the triple main event, later on tonight as pops up Teton and deposits him with the slam.
Such whiplash. And here, Mystico again. Textbook.
The Senton Atomico now, cover made. Dorada. The leg was hooked, but the shoulders were not neutralized, and Teton able to escape. Walker, New Japan Pro Wrestling and CMLL, a relationship that goes back decades. Athletes in New Japan come over to CMLL. Likewise, CMLL athletes, no strangers to competing in Japan. So the familiarity with all 6 of these men is there.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and that's going to make it even more difficult. 3-way tag team match like this. Take a look there. Whoa, Jackson got him here.
Looking for the arm drag, but instead...
Yeah.
The Tornillo, Matt Jackson was able to put on the brakes. Instead, the Locomotion Northern Lights suplexes. Teton charging in, he gets caught.
2-for-1 combo for Jackson here tonight.
Oh, but wait a second.
And from behind comes Shingo. That's a tall order for Matt Jackson. Shingo Takagi. The back elbow. Jab the fake. The DDT plants Matt Jackson.
There's a reason Shingo Takagi is a former IWGP heavyweight champion. And he's showing it here tonight at Forbidden Door.
Drags Mascara Dorado over to the corner to make the tag. And thanks for coming, Dorado. Shingo wants to get this win, not just for Unbound Company, but for all of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Seeing here some of the technique, some of the violence, some of the ability that destroyed Bryan Danielson, as you mentioned, in the matchup not too long ago. Cover
made, too high stack, but instead Matt Jackson able to kick out. Nigel, remember Bryan Danielson winning that match against Shingo Takagi, in fact, winning the entire tournament.
Even a blind squirrel gets a nut from time to time. Luck is what it was. Ultimately, it was Bryan Danielson who had to change his underwear after the match. Not a word. Thank you very much.
Yep. Matt Jackson sent to the corner. Back elbow. Backs off Shingo. Teton, nobody home for him. And sliced bread off the chest of Shingo Takagi. Fainted with the super kick and caught Shingo with the DDT, Walker.
And it's being a smart professional wrestler. There are few who are going to be able to outclass the Young Bucks in tag team wrestling.
Shingo didn't like his own medicine.
The right hand blocked by Nick Jackson. Nick trying to take on both members of Unbound Company in this match. Latigo. And now interlaces the hands of Teton. Super kick to Shingo, and now Nick Jackson.
Tag was made nowhere near the rope, but the referee allows it.
Diving crossbody from Mystico. And now takes down Matt and Nick Jackson. Mascara Dorada into the ring, and area code shots from El Sky Team. Shingo and Teton sent down. And now Mystico, the springboard. And he's bringing up Teton and Matt Jackson as Mascara Dorada finds his footing on the middle rope. Shooting star press to the floor.
Dorada just flew right through the Forbidden Door tonight, gentlemen.
That an example of why, one of the reasons why Dorado has become one of the hottest new stars in Lucha Libre today, was scintillating maneuvers like that.
And Walker, as you mentioned, a man certainly that seems poised to receive the torch from Mystico whenever the legend, the icon of Lucha Libre decides to pass it off.
And a team together as Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions tonight. Nothing sweeter. The Mascara Dorada could pick one up here tonight. A victory over Teton Inbound.
Taking a lot of time for Teton to get back to his feet.
Dorada biding his time, but a shoulder to the midsection through the ropes. Dorada finds his feet, but found the foot of Nick Jackson with a super kick. Now kicks going all around. Shingo, though, shuts down Dorada and Nick Jackson. Now Mystico and Matt Jackson working together, and they get shut down by Takagi.
This is only our opening match of the evening. Feel the energy in this arena here tonight.
Oh, yeah. What did I tell you?
And 4 to take down the Dragon Shingo. And now standoff. Teton goes down as well. Now Mystico, Matt Jax. Oh, Canadian Destroyer. Mascara Dorada on the move. Destroyer of his own. Matt Jackson goes down. Nick Jackson vaults over, shoulder to the midsection. And Nick Jackson over the top. Plants Dorada with that one.
The Bucks slow to follow up, though, and all 6 men down.
A standing ovation from the fans in San Jose, filling the SAP Center, the Shark Tank, if you will. But now Shingo Takagi, center of the ring, but surrounded on all sides.
And Takagi's never backed out of a fight that I've ever seen in his career.
And Shingo dishing out the punishment, though. Mystico slipped out of the corner. Pair of kicks to the face for Shingo Takagi. Now Mystico making the climb to the top.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you don't think?
How do you say, please don't die in Spanish?
Oh, Mystico, the Spanish fly. 1, 2, no, Matt Jackson. The elbow drop to break it up. Teton, the foot stomps.
Keep your eyes on the sky.
450 splash from Nick Jackson. Wait a second, Mascara Dorada. Shooting star press, this time inside the ring. How on earth are any of these men moving after exchanges like that? And despite the status of Mystico as a legend of Lucha Libre, living legend, I'm not sure he wants to get in a prolonged strike exchange with Mystico, but La Mystica is cinched in. This is how he and Dorado won the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions 2 nights ago. No!
Match continues.
Well, Takagi held on there for a long time, gentlemen. I'd consider that left arm a non-factor going forward.
It just speaks to the toughness, the durability of Shingo Takagi to be able to withstand that La Mystica for that long.
It speaks to how exciting these Forbidden Door matches are. The best talent in the world.
Overhead chop from Mystico now. Things just breaking down into a slugfest, and Teton from behind. Mystico had no idea Teton was behind him as he chopped down the leg. Shingo and Teton going to work on Mystico. Wait a second. Unbound Company. Oh, not done yet. Want to make it a certainty. As Teton, now the legal man, alongside Mystico.
Teton, who goes by El Immortal, the Immortal One. Let's see if he can end this match.
And Teton falls off the chest of his partner, the DDT. Follows it up. As Shingo.
Unbound Company. Oh, jeez.
Diving stomps from Teton. Cover made to no.
And the super kick party continues.
And Walker, one of the hallmarks of Matt and Nick Jackson is their timing. I mean, they are tag team wrestlers through and through.
They're the most destructive, the most devastating tag team you're going to find in the sport today. And the Young Bucks want to climb up to a potential AEW World Tag Team title opportunity sometime in the future.
Super kicks take Teton down, but Shingo, that right hand of his is devastating. And Shingo, despite his toughness, finally appears to be wobbling as he hoists Dorado up.
No way Shingo could protect himself against the super kicks there.
The hands of Shingo were occupied. And that allowed free reign from the Young Bucks, but now Teton up to the top, diving crossbody. Caught, and now the Young Bucks with Teton inverted. Shingo goes down, and Teton planted, Matt, and Nick the cover, and the win! Incredible. An amazing way to kick off Forbidden Door, the Young Bucks. Undoubtedly, Nigel, we'll be watching the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Christian Cage, the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland, taking on the Dogs later on tonight, and the Bucks, I'm sure, be watching that one with a keen eye.
With exciting matches and victories like that, the Young Bucks won't have to wait long before they get back into title contention. Speaking of wanting to get back into title contention, Kenny Omega has his sights set on goal to get towards that. Oh, he's got a big test here tonight.
certainly does. The other member of the Elite alongside Matt and Nick Jackson and Jack Perry. But the Young Bucks, an impressive victory to kick off the action tonight at Forbidden Door live on pay-per-view. And Nigel, as you mentioned, Kenny Omega looks to come one step closer to reclaiming the AEW World Championship, but he will have to go through one of the best wrestlers of all time, Zack Sabre Jr.
What's the next plan of action?
All Elite Wrestling. I want your very best.
How are you gonna climb back to the top?
And as a man, I've not fought for over 8 years.
And then it came to me. Zack, you are that key. You are what's gonna take me to the next level.
But what's the frequency, Kenneth? Zack Sabre Jr. is the best technical wrestler in the world.
Kenny Omega, he's got visions of reclaiming the AEW World Championship dancing through his head.
But Kenny Omega, are you still the best?
It's gonna be you and I, one-on-one.
I will not be used as a stepping stone.
May the best man win.
I am going to beat you by submission.
Because